Going on, Hoaxwar agent?
Hey, how are you guys doing? I spoke to my agent, Hoaxwar, and he will say that he would like you to take down the stream where you dox him, or else there's going to be some legal consequences.
Hold
Okay?
on, hold on. I can't hear you. I'm going to put on my headphones. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I spoke to Hoaxwar. He's not happy about the doxing you did, and he said
How
he
did
told
I dox him exactly?
you threatening to dox, and he will be, there will be consequences, okay,
Well, that's
unless.
fine. Just come with the lawsuit. I'm ready to take on all comers. Just make sure whatever you charge me with, I can lawfully charge you with 3 times the amount and collect on it.
Okay, what's
But
your
go ahead, bring forth the charges. Make sure you can substantiate them because I'll have some charges of my own, I suspect, once I do my own investigation.
Okay, okay.
What
You're
can he
really
charge
not.
you?
You're really a jerk. You know what I mean? You really like. You really don't
Could
like.
you come closer to the microphone if you're going to do a bit non-bit, please? I can barely hear you.
By the way, what do you think about Matt Walsh just being
Can you
white
come close to
nationalist?
the microphone? I can't hear you.
Okay. I know you're a
There you go, little boy. There you go, little boy. Now you're close to the microphone, getting your fix online.
What do you think about Matt Walsh's white nationalist thing?
I don't know anything about Matt Walsh. He's probably another loser failure that you follow around all day on the internet, like a whole bunch of other people, including me. But I'm not a loser failure.
I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who you are. I was coming here because I'm the agent of Hoaxwar. He told me to speak to you guys soon. I don't know who you are. Somebody just sent me the link. Somebody randomly sent me the link at Discord, you idiot.
I got it. Hoaxwar is my bitch and hoe, so you can go back and let them all know that, right? And dare they come forth with any kind of consequences legally, as you say, they're going to be sorry they did, I suspect. But I'm willing to gamble.
Well, that's okay, man, if whatever it is. So you're part of the LGBTQ community? Because
no, you're wrong again. I'm not part of any community. I've created a community indirectly with my mere beingness.
So why do you call him, why do you say that he's your lady? You don't know how...
Oh, metaphorically, metaphysically, metaversally. He's my bitch and my hoe.
So metaphorically, you're that way, right? I mean,
right.
Still, yeah. Okay, so you're part of the LGBTQ?
No. This is conceptual.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. So you're saying it's the conceptual? Why would anybody, like... There's far other ways to make it. You just sound,
Right, there's no sexual activity involved in that. I'm pimping, he's hoeing.
Yeah, what do you think? What are those things? What do you think those things are?
I can't hear you because you're shuffling around. Your Tourette's and your various bodily disorders are probably acting up. I'm sure that you're on some kind of toxified medication as well. It's okay. Relax, breathe. I'm here to help, sir.
Okay, thank you. But what's it called again? It just sounds a little bit, you don't realize why it sounds weird. Like if I say I'm retarded, you don't think that means I'm retarded. That's like exactly what it sounds.
No, if you say you're retarded, I believe you immediately because I didn't need you to say it to understand it.
Okay,
your presentment spoke volumes.
So if I wanted to technically assume that you're a whatever, I didn't even have to hear you say that because I could just see from your face.
No, that's not how that works.
That's what you just basically said. That's what you basically said.
No, I didn't basically just say that. That's what you wanted me to say.
No. You basically said
you present like a being who's retarded in their development and their journey and their path. I don't present like anything that you describe. That's what you want it to be.
No, yes you do. Yes, you do.
Okay. Does that make you feel better? Folks like you who usually sit in a safe space all day like to create realities that don't exist to feel better. So if that works for you, I'll allow it. Yeah, who am I to interfere with your journey?
By the way, do you have kids?
No, I don't have. I have children online. How am I supposed to have children in the world when I have so many children online who need my attention and my tutelage?
Is this how you sound?
They need my proper instruction. You're one of them, right? I'm your daddy now.
No, I'm straight.
Yeah, you'll be here again, and I'll be forced to give you my attention and to instruct you properly on how to be a man. Your own daddy at home's not doing it. Someone's got to do it, so why not be me?
Yeah. I mean, like, what's it called again? You're probably the type of person that abuses their child, and you use your counsel.
Let's talk about your father. Where's your father?
He's busy at work because unlike you.
Busy at work. What does he do for a living?
Why would I dox my? I'm an agent for Hoaxwar.
Why would I dox? Why would I dox? You're doxing him by telling me what your father does for a living when I have no idea who you are. Do you even know what that goofy online incel word means?
What does it mean?
It means that somebody's going to be able to get to him by the information that I put out, which there's no way that could happen. I just asked generally, what does he do for a living? You could tell me cop, firefighter, doctor. It's not going to tell us who he is and where he is.
Why? How? But if you know his job, you could just search up his name on the computer.
How would I know his name?
Because maybe you know my IP address. Maybe
so you think I'm such a loser, failure, incel like you that I'd sit around scanning IPs all day to play games with your father, who I already know is not a man? Yeah, I'm not into that.
Wait, if he's not a man, then how did they come to exist? A person needs a father, right?
This is what I'm getting. No, when I say a man, I mean principally, archetypally. I don't mean biologically. He's got a dick and balls, but his mind and heart is not that of a man throughout history who would command respect and or embody greatness.
So that's what makes somebody a man. I thought
absolutely that's what it is. Without that, your women don't wind up respecting you, and you wind up having a child like you in a broken home.
A person can be a man. It's biologically. You believe gender is.
Sir, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. You think that biologically. You think that biologically is the only thing that determines somebody's status and position and power, and it's not.
Yes, I believe that with gender. Yes.
It's not. Their understanding of self and the universe they live in and their application is what gives them way to their opportunity, status, and power in the world while not being of it. Simply being a biological male does not entitle you to anything. As a matter of fact, it's a detriment to certain things. Women can get way further in the world just being a woman than a man can just being a biological male. Are you kidding?
So hold it. So what's it called again? So you believe that Blair White is a man? Do you believe that Caitlyn Jenner is a lady? Since you believe
absolutely not. It's some freak show man who's cut off their genitals or altered their natural state to try to pretend to become something. A man can't become a woman can't become a man. And yes, there's certain qualities of a man and woman that you have to exemplify to be respected. If you don't, you won't get that.
So, but hold it. So he is not a man, but how? So he is a man or he's not a man, Caitlyn Jenner?
That's a man. It's Bruce Jenner, right? How could it go from being a man to a woman when there's no womb there?
Right, but you say it's about principle. He acts like a woman. So what is he?
He's a man acting like a woman.
I'm saying, but
this is my point.
In principle, what is he?
What is the rest of the Kardashian family? Women acting like men. Doesn't make it so. It just makes it dysfunctional in inversion land.
So what's wrong with me wanting to act not like a man? I thought biology is what makes me a man, but you say no, it's more than that.
No, you said biology makes you a man. I said it's a quality of the idea of masculinity is part of your biology. The rest of it are the qualities of you as a character.
So what is a person if he has the biologicalness of a man but acts like a lady? What is he?
A beta male. So
he's in the middle, basically. So you believe there's 3 genders?
Yeah, he's a low-value beta male. What real woman's going to want a man who acts like a woman?
So
only a masculine woman who acts like a man is going to want a man who acts like a woman. It's called inversion land. You're living in it right now. If I had to guess, your mother acts masculine, your father acts more feminine. I'd bet anything on it, and I know nothing about you.
But you believe that there's more than 2 genders? So you believe there's 3 genders?
No, I don't believe. Sir, please, just let me have the interaction, if you will, Nacho Keto.
Yeah, be quiet, Keto. Nobody likes you.
Okay, we don't need to do that either. There's no reason for that. So there's no such thing as belief, right? Belief requires a choice. If you choose to believe, you don't know. If you know, then it doesn't require belief. I know there's a man and a woman, and there's nothing inside or outside of that. If you want to make us believe that, you're deceiving us because we have no evidence of that to be true.
So a person could be a man. So a person's always a man no matter how he acts, right? I'm a man no matter how I act, right?
You're a male no matter how you act.
Exactly. Thank you. So
right, a man has certain qualities to it.
No, a man is an adult male. That's what a man is.
No. This is what you're not getting. There's an archetypal character that they write movies about that makes a male a man.
So you believe being a male is biological, but being a man is not biological.
Right. You could be a biologically male animal.
So
right? You have a dick and balls. That doesn't mean you meet the requirements of a man in consciousness.
So is Elliot Page a female biologically?
I have no idea who that is, and why are you making the same question you did before? You're now asking me if another tranny. You're asking me if another tranny is a man or a woman. It's the same question you just asked the first time. No.
Why? Because I'm just wondering. Because like you just said to me.
No.
I'm trying to hear this.
No, that's how I know you don't have a man in your life and a strong male role model. A man. I know you don't have it because you're still confused at your age about what a man and a woman is and what reality is and isn't. And you still think there's a similarity between beliefs and knowing. There isn't. So you're pretty much proving my point as you keep talking. I don't think you realize it. You got some feminized male at home who you call a daddy who's not a real man. And you most likely have some masculinized female at home who's not a woman. And you've been up under her so long while daddy's been out working that you're a male acting like a female.
First of all, the man is supposed to work. And second of all, I don't.
You're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. It doesn't matter if the man works or not. You're up under a bitter, angry, resentful female who acts like the man of the house when he's gone. And it's put your mama's spirit into you. And that's why you're confused and lost and you don't have any leadership and guidance. And the fact that it all goes on is because that man is not who and what he needs to be, doesn't know what he needs to know, and can't run a household efficiently. Simple.
Is my mother then a man? She's a female, but she's a man. Are you saying that?
Would you like to bring her in here to talk to me and watch how quickly we prove this?
No.
Of course not.
I'm not allowed to even use the internet.
There you go. You're not allowed to even use the internet. You know why? Because your daddy's gone, who probably might let you use the internet. And he's got some angry woman at home who runs the house. And she says little baby boy is not allowed to use the internet, but he's on it anyway, causing problems, isn't he? Because he's trying to find out what a fucking man is. And it's someone who doesn't listen to a mama.
I'm just wondering, why don't you have any kids? Why don't you
have any kids?
Yeah, why don't you? How old are you? 30?
Why don't you have any kids?
Well, I mean, it's an important thing. That's what I'm supposed to.
Why don't you have any baby goat kids that you could turn into the same way I am?
What? So you're saying you're going to be a bad father if you would have kids?
No, so you're admitting your father's a bad father subconsciously and directly. Thank you. No, I wouldn't be a bad father. I'd be a great one. That's the difference. So how many women out here do you think are self-selecting for certain qualities that are important outside of what the corporate structure tells them? Few, if any. How many of you think can conduct a relationship with me and actually bring forth children? Few, if any. What makes you think that I'm wanting to have... Shut up, slave. What makes you think that even if I could get that done, which at this time I might be able to, that I even want to have children at this point? What made you think any of that was going on inside of me? That just everybody wants children all the time, and because they don't have them, it's because they can't have them.
So basically you think you're so good for people. I think you're so good.
Is that what your mama does when your daddy tries to put her in her bitch ass place? She acts like a child? Is that what your mama does in the kitchen? Oh, Johnny, you're trying to give me the good game to teach me how to stop being a stupid motherfucker, so I'm going to act like a child. Is that what your mama does? Is that the influence? Is that where you got it from? Or does your daddy act like that too?
So why do you have beef with Hoaxwar? Do you even know who Hoaxwar is?
No, I don't, sir, but I know they're probably my bitch if we get in a room together one way or the other.
So why is one of his fans telling me I should speak to you?
Because they're fucking with you and playing games with you, and you're taking the bait, and you needed to be here anyway because God apparently brought you here. So all is well, sir. I could tell by our conversation, your presentment. I don't believe in God the way they taught it to you. I'm just saying there's a simulation program going on here, and sometimes people find their way before me who need to be here, whether I want them here or not.
So are you Christian, Muslim?
Oh, I'm not none of that. I'm not none of that. I don't take any labels and characterizations. There's an unnameable force that works in my life. I could describe it to you. I can't prove it to you. It works in certain ways. We've seen it over and over again, and it's centered in a certain understanding. That's all I know about it. I don't make claims to it, and I'm not going to try to tell you what it is and what you need to be like the rest of them will.
Right. So, just wondering. So, when will you get a real job?
What makes you think this isn't a real job?
You're on the computer. This is not a real job. Come
I
on,
don't
man.
understand. People are contributing and supporting to me 7 days a week. I'm making a living doing
Did
what
you
I
get
do.
the 7 days a week? Are you like an Andrew Tate wannabe? You sound like
No, I'm better than Andrew Tate. Why would I want to be like him?
how much subs do you have on your YouTube channel?
Is that what's going to decide whether I'm better than him or not before I answer
I
you?
mean, like, basically,
22,000 on the first channel, and then it got shadow banned. About 2,000 on the second one that we're
you,
on
prob-
right now.
you probably don't make much money. You're probably on welfare, man. You don't make that much
I'm
money. How much
probably
money?
on welfare.
Yeah, you're probably on welfare.
I don't know. On the good days, I do 200-300.
200-300. Yeah, I doubt that, man. You make
Okay.
who's paying you $200-300? Your fans are using their mama's credit card, their daddy's credit card.
I don't ask first of all, they're not fans. They're just other men and women who resonate with truth and they get value from what I do.
They're your slaves. They're your slaves. Now they're your slaves.
So I don't understand. So if I do what I do and I'm not accountable to another man to call him my boss and daddy like your father is, and I just open up a screen and start talking about my experience and motherfuckers pay me and I'm bad and wrong for that?
Yeah, because you're stealing people's money for you giving
Stealing people's money. So they're voluntarily contributing to be a part of an experience I put on for free here 7 days a week, 4, 6, 8, 10 hours a day sometimes, and don't expect anything. I'm stealing?
Yeah, what experience are you giving them? Huh?
My experience, like it or not. If you think it's garbage, move on to go talk about YNW Melly and whatever the fuck else is out there. Go talk to Mr. Beast and Joe Rogan.
Wait,
Go talk to him.
Stop it.
Well, so all of a sudden, all these other slaves are better than me because they come on, turn on a camera, and get billions of dollars?
No, Joe Rogan is awesome. What are you talking about?
Why is he awesome? Could you tell me why? Because they told you he was awesome. You don't actually know why, and he hasn't done anything awesome.
Have you ever heard his podcast? How he
podcast sucks.
What his podcast sucks?
It's fucking horrible, and that's why you're here talking to me right now instead of watching his lukewarm bullshit. Are you kidding?
Wait,
Joe Rogan's probably just like your daddy, an inauthentic corporate male who thinks because he can fight that he's a man. He ain't. He's a punk ass slave who don't stand for nothing.
He is a man. First of all, he could.
Put on your face covering and take your fucking treatments for safety. Okay. Just make sure that you get the program going on here. Right. Pay your slave tax. Put on your face covering and take your treatments for safety. That's what all you males are about nowadays. You'll figure it out.
He actually works out unlike you do.
He works out, right? He doesn't work out his mind and his heart. He works out his body to be perceived as a man.
He has Jordan Peterson.
Look at me. I'm a man. I got muscles. I don't stand for nothing. I'm a punk ass slaved out bitch to corporations, but I'm a man.
Yeah, because
beta.
He's not beta.
Beta.
He brings people on his podcast, and he
could put me in a chokehold and choke me out, and I'll wake right back up and say beta. It ain't gonna change what is.
Oh, you're not gonna say beta when he breaks.
Yes, I will. You want to bet on it? Get me on the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm gonna say just like this: Joe Rogan, do you stand for rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith? Are you willing to do what's true and what's right, and sacrifice all of your money and your position to stand for something and possibly go to jail or be killed? Because you saw the last 3 years of what happened. If you know, you know. If you don't, I can't tell you. Right? And then I get the answer. And if he says no, I'm going to continue to do my lukewarm bullshit podcast with a bunch of half-assed celebrities going into hell. I'm going to say you're a beta. You don't really want to use your position of leadership and your platform to change yourself and change the world. You want to make a whole bunch of money, fuck bitches, have a family, and go off into hell, into the sunset. I'm not interested in it.
What's it called again? Are you
Yes, probably. Whatever it is you think that you're going to ask, I probably am already it based on what you think you know. So just say yes to all of it.
So like how what's your view on what happened
the last 3 years?
Yeah.
because we can't talk about it. But I'm glad that you're already smarter than the majority of men who are probably 2 and 3 times your age who come on here and yell shit out and threaten the channel. See, you're pretty perceptive. You're asking good questions. You're already doing better content than most of the men who come here. And I look forward to you and more younger people coming here, because I realized the other day, young people got it. They're asking questions. They'll go back and forth with you and fight and not even get triggered and run. And then by the end of it, we could just leave. And they maybe learn something, we learn something, they'll check us, we check them. It's all good. I can't even talk to people my age or older than me. They're so fucking mind and heart controlled and stuck in their ways and don't want to have a real conversation. So I'm glad you asked. The last 3 years was a freak show. They tricked everybody out of their position with beliefs and a television. No one could prove anything about what happened. But one thing we do know is there's a certain section of the population that isn't happy with what they've done because it turned out bad for them. And now they're going to make excuses and not provide remedy and act like they weren't doing it on purpose from the beginning. We know they're doing slavery. We know they're killing people. We know they're not here for our highest good and to keep us safe. And they fucking revealed it and showed it to everybody. And if you bought into what the fuck happened and you still do, you got serious problems coming, because next is going to be an economic hit. And I'm not going to sit around with a bunch of slaves whose currency isn't worth anything like we did 100 years ago. We did this all already. They put everyone in masks. They imploded the economy. And then they brought about a new currency system. They're going to do it again with digital currency and crypto. And they're going to blame a whole bunch of events that either they made happen or let happen or didn't happen at all, because they're going to use the TV to convince everyone of it. It's complete mind and heart control, sir. So I'm glad that you asked.
Okay, fine, sure. So, you're libertarian?
I don't really like the labels and characterizations. I think it gets us in trouble. I'm for rights and freedom and personal choice, and I don't think other men in costumes have a right to tell us what to do and not to do unless we're causing loss, injury, and harm to other men and women. Pretty simple.
Do you think race matters when it comes to politics?
Absolutely not, because race is a false construct. There's a race of human beings, and there's different ethnicities of human beings. We're all people. We all have a mind and heart. We all have a conscience. We all know right from wrong. And if we don't, we can be instructed to know it, and then we can do right and be right. So absolutely not. If you ask white and black and every other kind of people what they want, they're all going to want the same things. You're just going to have different beliefs about how they're going to get there. You know where they got the beliefs? Yep, you guessed it, the TV again.
So why do blacks commit more crimes than white people? And why are white countries better than black countries?
Great question. So black folks have a culture. It's not a racial issue. It's a culture. The root word is cult. They're part of a cult. It's called thugging and gangbanging. All their music has become about it, and they think that's black culture. So they've been tricked into thinking being black means committing crime and doing black shit, which is not black shit. It's evil shit. The same way Latinos have a culture of thugging and gangbanging. You might argue that there's less of them on the scale who have adopted it, but still a large number. If you go to these certain cities and neighborhoods, the large number of the thugs and gangbangers are Latino, a large number are blacks. And then there's probably a good portion, smaller, of dirty white boys, running around thinking that their identity and culture is doing crime and evil.
Does Zimbabwe have gang culture?
Can't hear you, bud. I was hearing you before, but you moved the mic, it seems.
Oh, does Zimbabwe have gang culture?
No, not officially. The way
economy. Why is their economy not good?
Again, I can't necessarily speak about a land and a culture of people that I haven't studied, but I just believe that people are people, and if they don't have the proper instructions within their family and within their culture and community on how to conduct themselves as men and women, typically there's some kind of street culture or society that comes along and swoops up the young males, and then they start doing crime and corruption and evil to get power and resources.
What do you think? So you won't stream on Cozy anytime soon, you're saying?
I won't do what?
Have you ever heard of Nick Fuentes?
No, I haven't, sir.
I guess you could search him on the computer. He's I don't know how to explain him. So Matt Walsh says race matters. That's why I'm asking you. Do you know who Matt Walsh is?
No, I don't.
You don't know? Do you know who Donald Trump is?
Of course.
How don't you know who Matt Walsh is? Do you know who Randy Santos is? Like,
I'm aware of them, but I know little to any details about any of these people. I just know what they show me, and that's enough, right?
right.
So
So
yeah, I mean, anybody who says that race matters, I think that they're setting everybody up to do tribalism and to do divisionist politics.
right. So
I don't.
why did our founders believe race mattered?
They didn't. That's the thing. The founders said that all men and women are created equal, and that through your choices and the culture that you adopt and the lifestyle you engage in, you will be held liable by doing either right or wrong.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, again, it's not like, bro, it's not like we could say that every black person out there is inherently bad and evil and doing wrong and crime. There's plenty of successful, hardworking, ethical black folks. There's whole communities of them, right? Black folks, black families with big $1 million houses who do everything else all the other good white people do. So what's the difference between those black folks and the ones who are not doing that? The culture, the way they think and feel and act. And that's programmable.
Would you go on Jaden McNeil's show? I think
I'd go anywhere that they'd have me, sir.
So, Jaden McNeil, would you be able to debate him? I think that would be a good debate.
I would debate anybody who wants to engage in a discussion. I'm an equal opportunity truth teller. You know, you got a truth, you think it's the truth. I'll debate anyone and with about anything if I see value in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about Jesus? Just curious.
I think that Jesus is a story that's been told over and over again with different names, and it's a description of an experience that one can come to have if they put themselves on a path of truth seeking and embodying certain archetypal states of consciousness. So
do you believe that person could be a good person but not like Jesus?
Yeah. No, not really, because if a good person is objective based on an objective standard that can be defined and explained and measurable with results, then if one of the best role models we have is that being, then pretty much everybody who's going to be a good or great person is going to be looking like that being in some way, acting like that being in some way.
Let's say they believe that the whole story was fake and he was really not such a good person.
Well, that's a whole other argument, right? I mean, there's an argument that the Jesus character is really the brother of Caesar Borgia, and putting it forth was actually a mockery, humiliation ritual on everybody, saying that a ruler's brother was essentially everybody's god. So I'm just talking about the story, right? Standing for what was true and what's right, personal choice, God's will, bearing witness and testimony, and telling a system they're not going to slave everybody, which is the same thing I try to do today. So I argue that if I'm embodying that, it's not a Christed thing, it's a human thing, and it's archetypal from the beginning of time. You can apprehend it, understand it, apply it, and get certain results for yourself and others.
Okay. So, what's it called again? How do you know about Joe Rogan? How do you know about him if you don't know about Matt Walsh?
If I don't know nothing else, I seem to know. I remember a clip of him saying the moon landing was completely fake, completely double backing on that and saying we have no reason to believe it was fake. And I want to know how somebody could do such a drastic 180 without being an agent. That and a few other things I've heard.
The moon landing is true. Why, would you know how much?
What makes you believe that it's true?
Because Alex Jones explained it. Because what's it called again? He knows people. People know that.
I'm not interested in someone else's anecdotal descriptions and opinions. That's not proof. That's not even evidence.
So you don't believe that there were people. So how does
I have no reason to believe it. I didn't say I disbelieve it. I just said I have no reason to believe it.
The space, the people. They have people, millions of people. They have like thousands of people that built the thing. You know what I mean? They're all lying. Those 1,000 people.
No, that's not how life works, man. It's like saying everybody who was part of the tyrannical system the past 3 years was lying directly. No, they're compartmentalized. They don't know any better. They're told what to do and they do it. By the time they figured out they were involved in wrong, they're horrified. They're not all lying. They're all just duped and part of a compartmentalized system where they're on a need-to-know basis, and the lowly workers don't need to know what the intent and the outcome is really supposed to be. There's only few who are going to know that. It's like any other business.
So how do you think the moon? How do you think the moon landing happened? in your opinion, was it all staged? Was it all like? How do you think they staged it?
Because I heard something there. I'm not making fun of you because I know I said something earlier and I want to apologize for that. If you have some kind of a speech impediment, right? Because I did say something.
I just have OCD, that's all, and I get nervous. That's all.
All right. No, I understand that, but I want to apologize to you because I became aware of something and I wanted to speak to you man to man, and I was trying to use that to get past the egoic bullshit to make you feel what I was saying. You understand that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not demeaning you or saying you're lesser of a man.
No, of course. No. Because but like, what was I gonna say again? I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, the moon landing. How do you think it happened? Do you think it was they went through a whole
I think it's done in a movie studio, and I think there's a few folks who've come out and said that. And I think after they said it, they were told to shut the fuck up or there's going to be problems, and so they changed their story.
And what do you
There's
think?
Been various musicians have written songs that say the moon landing happened in a warehouse somewhere in California. They've written the songs to tell everyone about it.
So how about
Red
the
Hot
whole?
Chili Peppers.
Right. So how what do they call again? So do you think they build the space shuttle, or but you believe they built the space shuttle though, right?
I think it's very well possible that they're actually getting money from everyone to explore other parts of the Earth, and that the rocket, when they show the trajectory, doesn't actually go up into space. It goes up and then comes back down. We don't know where it comes back down, and it wouldn't surprise me if they're studying an outer Earth perimeter, what they call the ice wall that Admiral Byrd and others went to, and they're telling us they're going up and out there. I think they're actually possibly going over there because there's more to learn over there than there is out there. Just like there's more to learn in here than there is out here.
I don't believe that there is aliens. I believe that they're fake, by the way. Do you believe aliens exist?
I do belief and disbelief as much as possible. I go what can be shown and defined and proved. If it can't be, I don't choose to believe or disbelieve. I don't know. Anything's possible.
Why have they never came here if they exist?
Sir, I have a community of folks who I was pretty well sure was demonically possessed, whatever that means, some kind of religious language. I just know what they were doing and saying. They were coming up against me, attacking me, along with other folks using demonic symbolism, and they would report that there were black entities showing up beside their bed. Every one of them one night just started sharing, and every one of them had their own story about some shadow people who were showing up at their bedside, and they thought it was God or angels trying to lead them. I said, I think you guys are a little deceived, and they were all on DMT, and they all had gray skin and dark circles around their eyes and looked like Voldemort or Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. So you tell me what that all is, because I have no fucking idea. And what they've described is good enough for me. Seems to be the dynamic.
So they're African Americans, you're saying?
No, I'm saying that they're a shadow being, that they have no features, that they're not human. They're just some replica of a human that comes to you as a shadow figure. I haven't seen them, but these people all claim to have seen them. And they all act the same way, think the same way, feel the same way, and do the same drugs. You tell me what the fuck that is. Aliens, demons, I don't know.
I guess. So what's happening? I'm sorry. I really want to become. 1 second. Yeah. So you only have 2,000 subs. Do you
I have 22,000 on the first channel, sir, and you have to look at the charts. They shadow banned me and took away subscribers and notifications. Just right now, I'm watching my counter. I'm at 160 live viewers. It just went down to 125, then went back up to 160. They fuck with my numbers even on a live. Nobody left.
See?
So that's the game we're playing. If you speak about certain things a certain way and you expose other people who are obviously frauds and traitors and personalities for media, you wind up getting blacklisted and blackballed. But that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. You know coming into this what you're going to get. You just trust in the faith of the destiny of doing what's true and what's right, that you're going to be where you're meant to be. Right? So I'm not complaining and bitching. I'm just doing what I do and speaking on my experience. And my experience is atypical, it seems.
Okay, fine. So you don't believe in, what do they call again? And you don't like Donald Trump?
It's not that I don't like him. I think he's a fraud. He's proven that. I don't think it. He's proven that, shown that.
So
he said he stood for a bunch of things. Who's not a fraud? Exactly. There's your question. You just have to determine how much of a fraud I am, because we know all the rest of these people are. They wouldn't be where they are, getting the money they're getting, saying one thing, doing something else, and then continuing to be talked about. They're frauds and pawns of a system.
Is Nick Fuentes a fraud?
I have no idea who that is.
You don't remember the Alex Jones Kanye West show? You don't remember that?
I don't watch any of this stuff, right? I stay away from TV. I stay away from pop culture. The closest I get is covering breaking news or hearing about it third party on Slavebook, social media, right? I don't get involved in any of this shit. It doesn't benefit me. I write my own story and experience my experience. It doesn't benefit me to read about other people's experience in the story they're writing. That's what they want. They want us all focused on other characters who are perceived to be playing in the game while we're all being played upon.
Okay.
I just know Donnie said he stood for rights, freedom, and principles, and then told everyone, here's some policy on how you need some more safety, and it's going to take some of your personal choice, and you might lose your job if you don't comply. And then I watched some of the results people are complaining about, and I watched that no one really cares.
So you were okay with Donald Trump until the whole...
No, I wasn't. I knew he was a fraud. I told everybody who was a part of... Sir, I've been doing this over a decade, what I've been doing here in various forms. Just telling people who and what I am, what I perceive of them, how it all connects together, and then the choices they're making that are going to affect all of us that they don't perceive the cause and effect of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never voted. I've never done any of these processes. I've never believed in any of it, and I've always seen the error of the ways.
August 4th, 2023.
Okay, fine. I guess... Okay, fine. I guess we could end the... Fine, bye.
All right, we can move on, man. I appreciate you being here. It was a good conversation. You asked some good questions.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Come back more, man.
Sure. Thank you. Bye.
All right, you can hang out too if you want. You don't have to talk, but you do whatever feels comfortable for you.
Okay, sure.
All right, so let's go to Mr. O'Shea. I'm going to put you on mute because I hear you clicking, but you can... Or actually, you put yourself on mute, because if I mute you, you can't unmute, I don't think. You might be able to. But mute yourself real quick, Hoaxwar agent. Just because you're clicking and making noises. I could just turn you down, actually.
Yeah, you can just mute me. That's okay.
All right. What's going on, O'Shea and others? How was that interaction? I think that was one of the best interactions we've had so far. The man apparently has a speech impediment, and that didn't matter because he was more interested in seeking truth, asking questions to get answers. And that seems to be good content as well. Okay. And he's a younger viewer, it seems. So it's more compelling when we have the younger viewers here, knowing what's liable to be going on in their life and the people they're surrounded by, getting access to a question and answer period where something might be revealed for them. That's what I started this for. Proper instruction motivates people. I thought I would be talking to a bunch of young people who needed some clarity and wanted to ask questions because they were confused in their life. What I got was a bunch of old people who are of the same condition, just not asking the right questions and willing to take the right answers and trying to convince me that they already have that going for them. I don't see the results.
I thought the conversation went really well, and I don't know how old that guy is, but if he's like in his if he's 18 or like in his early 20s, or those are he's thinking about the world a lot differently than I was when I was his age. That's for sure. And
right, and the difference is if I touch his life and I do what's true and what's right, and he gets value here, he might go and get another 20,000 viewers just like him instead of fighting and arguing and doing broadcasts on how to hate me. So
absolutely,
you see the difference. He might go into Discord and post that I got a new daddy online and it's Paul Unslaved and he's better than all the rest of these fucking clowns. Instead of doing a 70-person broadcast on how to fucking hate on me to substantiate their own horrible life and existence. What a concept, huh? It's called wanting the truth and wanting to win and not caring about your bullshit ego, right? He started off with that and he realized real quick, okay, I better get into a different mode. I can't get that from grown men sometimes twice my age after a year here. It's amazing. And that's the thing is when you do this, usually you wind up going to work with young people in the street because The old people got it all figured out, they think, and oh boy, their results are just fucking great.
Yeah, initially it was a little bit of like a semantic game of like, how do you define a man? And obviously there's a couple ways to define a man. So, it was a bit of a gotcha game, like, you say this is what a man is, but there's an idea of a biological man. But once we got past that, I thought the conversation went really well.
What the fuck is Paul talking about? Can we get the next confused person who's constantly confused, easily manipulated and suggestible? Who doesn't want to know and learn? At least that young person wants to know and learn, you can tell. Checked his bullshit and we got on with the question and answer, and then he left. He's done. That's it. Got what he needed. None of the rest of this bullshit we see with the inauthentic corporate beta males online, probably 2 and 3 times that person's age. It's fucking pathetic. You should be embarrassed.